Over the years, we've interviewed a lot of amazing guests. This is our first potentate. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the reading room of the library, the Grand Strand campus of Horry Georgetown Technical College. We're focused on the 34th Annual Convention and Festival for the South Atlantic Shrine Association. And we're visiting with its president, Bob Gray. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, Greg.
Hope I got that right, that you are the president?
I am, and thank you for getting me up this early in the morning.
Absolutely. We've had your brother here with us before, next door in the nice foundation and the conference room over there. And so now seeing Dan's brother Bob in here in a reading room, it's fantastic getting you in.
Thank you. It's my honor to be here.
Even more of an honor for us, particularly to think of sitting with the president of seeing 55,000 members within the South Atlantic Shrine Association, and know that you've been this active for as long as you have in this tremendous organization. It's a real honor to get you in.
Well, my honor to be here. Thank you.
I can't remember who it was who was with us, a guy who put together, it was the 25th or 24th Annual Murrells Inlet Boat Parade, who started talking about Shrine, and gentleman who was with us recently promoting the July 4th boat parade.
Had to be Bob Hendrick.
It was Bob Hendrick, absolutely.
And Bob is one of he's a jewel of a Shriner.
He
really is. Unfortunately, our national convention is always around the 4th of July.
Right.
And that prevents me from attending or being at the Murrells Inlet Boat Parade. But Bob's been very active in that. He's also very active with the local shrine organization, and he's active with the South Atlantic. He's going to be the parade co-chairman this year. He's been parade chairman and co-chairman many years. I think ever since we had the first parade in Myrtle Beach. And Bob also has been very active with the other groups of Shriners in the area of Omar. He's an Omar Shriner. I'm an Omar Shriner. Omar is the chapter that has the 21 counties of the low country of South Carolina.
Okay.
We go from the North Carolina border to the Georgia border, about a county west of I-95. We have about 4,000 members in Omar.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. And Omar is one of the 19, is it chapters or units of the South
Well, we used
Atlantic?
to call them temples. People got interpreted that falsely as some type of religious organization, and believe me, Shriners are not. We are religious. One of our tenets is that we are Masons, and Masons all have to have a belief in a supreme being. Mm-hmm. To be a Mason, you have to do that, but your own beliefs are your own past that point. So we all have a belief in a supreme being,
right? But
we're not in any way, shape, or form a religious organization. But in the latter part of the last century, 1800s, the word temple had a different connotation. It was a temple of learning was a school, a temple of law was a courthouse. The Shrine adopted the word temple. Unfortunately, people misconstrued that.
Right.
And over the last few years, we've been trying to use the word chapter or the word Shrine Center. So we have 19 member Shrine Centers in 6 states.
That's tremendous. And of course, Omar, again, being about 4,000 members or Shriners Centers, in the, so 4,000 members within Omar. And then, of course, 19 Shrine Centers within the South Atlantic Shrine Association, of which you serve as president. You know, when talking to Bob Hendrick, I, of course, brought a Bob Cape, and then I thought it was just Bob squared, and then he said, well, it's really Bob cubed. You know, there's Bob Gray around here. So there's 3 tremendous Bobs, terribly dedicated. I'm sure a lot of other Bobs within the Omar, and then a heck of a lot of Bobs and many others within the South Atlantic Shrine.
So Bob is a member of our local clowns organization, and he's a unique individual, too. He's a fun guy to be around.
You know, I mentioned to Bob Hendrick there on the set about the red hat, and he looked at me with even a slight bit of derision there when I called it a red cap. Share with viewers real quick who may not be seeing this for the first time but have always wondered, what is there on your head?
Well, it's a sign of a Shriner, and we do that so that people know who we are.
Right.
And we hope that they'll want to join us and be part of our organization. My children call it a flower pot. They said, Daddy's got his flower pot on. But the shrine goes back to 1870. There was a group of 13 men in a men's club in New York City who wanted to form a club. In the late 1800s, it was a lot of fraternal organizations were getting started.
Right.
And the shrine was one of them. And one common bond that these guys happened to have is they were all Masons. So that was one of the tenets that they adopted, that all Shriners are Masons. Not all Masons are Shriners, but all Shriners are Masons. And one of these guys happened to be an actor. Another was a doctor. The actor went to Europe on a tour, acting tour, which was very common back then. You had to do your European tour. And while he was in Europe, he went to a party. And this party he attended had a Mediterranean Oriental theme, Egyptian type theme. And it must have been a good party. He brought the idea back, and he and his doctor friend wrote up the shrine.
Right.
And it's all a party. It's, people who put some type of ritual into the shrine miss the point. It's a party. We all belong to a fraternity. We're out having a good time.
Yes.
Now, the shrine existed for the first 50 years of existence without a true purpose. And then a fellow named Adair at the annual shrine convention in Atlanta, Georgia in 1920, all the shrine centers in existence had different charitable or philanthropic things that they were doing, but there was no central reason. And he gave a very stirring speech about children in need. And it was at that convention in 1920 that the shrine said, children's hospitals are going to be our reason for being. And our first children's hospital was built in Shreveport, Louisiana in 1922. And now we have 22 children's hospitals throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And it's not a charity. It's a philanthropic or philanthropy. It's not charity because the ability to pay is not a factor. It's all free. We don't, no one has ever been charged for services at a shrine hospital. So it doesn't matter whether it's the child of a billionaire or someone who is living on the streets. That's immaterial. We're there to help the child, and we've been doing it very effectively since 1922. And as our abilities have increased to take care of because originally it was mainly orthopedic problems.
Right.
Burns were adopted in the 1960s, and more recently spinal problems have come to fore. So the shrine is growing. Originally the age limit was 14, now it's 18, but even that is not a barrier. If the child is undergoing treatment at the age of 18, they don't just stop. I've met patients as old as 22.
Is that right? The shrine continue to support?
Well, they sometimes a treatment has to go through a series of operations, and things can't be speeded up. So they continue that until the goal is reached at whatever age limit.
What a tremendous commitment. So a child normally, if they are coming into one of your 22 hospitals, would probably be under the age of 18, but are coming in for but if they've got treatment, they could potentially go on as long as that treatment is needed.
That's true.
Very important. Very important. If a viewer needs to get off to work now, Bob, or get out of the house, what's a good phone number for someone to learn? Obviously, we want to talk a little bit about the Beach Boogie and Barbecue Festival that will happen in the end of this month, but even more exciting, a lot of the activities that will be happening during the 34th annual festival and convention that will be held here for the South Atlantic Shrine. Very exciting. What's a good phone number that someone could call?
Well, call me, 843-450-2741.
Okay, 843-450-2741. Not too many guests to give out their own number. And, of course, more excitingly, they can go online to SASA 2007 or SASA2007.com to see the lineup, to see all the locations. You got a lot of hotels putting on, obviously accepting these. It looks like almost 10,000 folks, potentially even more, coming in from the 6 states, the 55,000 Shriners within the 6 states that are part of the South Atlantic Shrine Association. That's a big deal and a big impact on the Myrtle Beach area.
Well, we love Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach has been very kind to the Shrine for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And the first meeting, or annual meeting, was here in Myrtle Beach in 1974. My father happened to be honored that year by being elected the first elected president of the South Atlantic Shrine Association.
Your father
I take pride in that.
Wow.
He was potentate of Omar in '66, and I'm kind of following in his footsteps. And since we're here at O'Ree Georgetown Technical College, I'll say that he was also the first chairman of the board of O'Ree Georgetown Technical College.
That's exactly right.
I follow in some deep footprints.
You do, and even your brother, of course, not only the role just at O'Ree Georgetown Tech, he serves as the first congressional district's representative on the State Board of Technical Colleges. So you all have gotten, as a family, clearly very interested in the technical college system, and that's even more exciting to have you here as we walked into the library. And they were, again, kind enough to open up. This is such a beautiful location. It's open from 7:45 to 8:45 here, Monday through Thursday, and change the hours a little bit on the weekends, but a great opportunity, a beautiful campus out here.
It is.
A lot going on. And speaking of the air base, Beach Boogie and Barbecue Festival be happening the 31st of this month, and of course the September 1. A lot happening, and Shrine is very involved with the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce for that festival.
It is, and we're tickled about that. It's a fundraiser for our local Shriners, Omar, and something to be a part of the city of Myrtle Beach to help the chamber out. So it's a I shake hands, your shake hands type thing. The Omar Shriners have had a spring barbecue cook-off at Family Kingdom Amusement Park with the Sea Mist Resort for the last 3 or 4 years.
Really?
And last year, the chamber, in an effort to generate more business around Labor Day, in conjunction with the Shrine, helped to form Beach Boogie and Barbecue. Mm-hmm. And we're looking for a tremendous turnout this year. I wasn't able to be here last year. My mother's birthday was on September the 2nd, and I needed to be there, and unfortunately I couldn't be here. But I'm looking forward to being here this year to help out. That's Friday and Saturday.
Right.
Of the Labor Day weekend.
Yes, yes.
And the local Shriners here will be out in force. You'll see a lot of funny hats.
Yes, as Bob said, the uniform. That is the uniform. Even though your kids call it the flower pot, Bob Hendricks said that is our uniform.
Well, the Fez is part of that Mediterranean theme. Right. The city of Morocco in Fez, or Fez, Morocco, is where the hat originally came up, and it's nothing more than a hat.
Right.
And we just wear it to be identified as Shriners.
Absolutely, which is a great point. Are there other organizations that have, I'm trying to think if there are other organizations. Of course, you highlighted that you have to be a Mason to be a Shrine. You don't have to be a Shrine to be a Mason.
You have to be a Shriner to be you have to be a Mason to be a Shriner.
Right.
But you don't need to be as a Mason, you don't have to join the Shrine.
Right. In that role, or do Masons have, they do not have the Mediterranean theme, but it's clearly an important role. So you'd really come into the Masons prior to joining the Shrine.
I'm honored to be a 40-year Mason.
Is that right? Yes, yes. You know, we think about so much that's going to happen over the course of the big business meeting is on September 20th here. The SASA2007.com would lay out a lot of that information. Or if a viewer was interested, of course, again, they could call you at the 450-2741 number. But give viewers a sense of what all is going to be happening over the course of the few days. I know there's a golf tournament the day before the business meeting, and as you said, a lot that has to happen at this 34th annual festival.
We'll be doing a lot of stuff. Of course, the events kick off Wednesday morning with a public invited golf tournament at River Oaks Golf Course. You'll find the sign-up sheet on the website, or I can mail you one. We like to have a big turnout. We like to have some community support.
And you've highlighted that. It's open to the public, Bob.
Absolutely.
Everything the Shrine does, open to the public.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That day also, we have a marketplace where we have vendors come in and set up their tables and sell paraphernalia, bling, watches, rings, pins, what have you, hats, shirts. That'll be at Springmaid Resort on the bottom level of the conference center. That's open to the public, and anyone who wants a good deal on a watch or a shirt, come down. You can. The prices are very good. That runs Wednesday through Saturday, at least Saturday afternoon. On Thursday, of course, we have our business meeting. That's the you're welcome to come, but it's boring. I'll let you know.
That's right, yeah.
I'll let you know up front that it's a pretty dry environment. And that evening, we have what we call sub-associations, the South Atlantic Band Association, the South Atlantic Motor Corps that drives little cars, the South Atlantic Highlanders, the Provost Guard. We have about a dozen sub-associations. And most of the sub-associations have their own meetings and officers' elections and banquets on Thursday evening. And then on Friday is a day devoted for fun. And we have the 19 Shrine Centers have similar units. One may have a band, another may have a band or a Highlanders unit, or one of the Motor Corps units. We have competitions amongst these units. They like to be the best in the area, in the South Atlantic for a particular year, so they get out and do their stuff. And there's a lot of fun to watch. The clowns in their makeup, the Motor Corps driving the obstacle course, and the marching patrols doing their routines, and the band tooting away, and the Highlanders pushing on the bagpipes. It's a lot of fun to watch. And these competitions will be going on all the way from the Caravel Resort on the north end of town to here on the former Air Force Base where we are today. All along Broadway at the beach, Myrtle Beach Convention Center. So they're spread out all over town. The clowns will be at the Sea Mist Resort and their convention center. We asked the public to come. We'd love to have everybody come and watch these competitions. Then Friday night we have some more banquets amongst ourselves. Saturday is our public parade, Shriners Parade for the public. Who else would we parade for? The public didn't come.
Absolutely.
Right now we have over 200 Shrine units.
Oh, come on.
Committed to come.
Is that right?
Last time we were in Myrtle Beach, I don't know how many units were here. We've been away for 2 years to Virginia Beach. I don't know how many units were here that year, but the parade was 4 hours long.
4 hours.
So the city says we can't have anything over 4 hours. I hope we can do it within that time frame. But we're starting at 12th Avenue South and going to 29th Avenue South. We want the public to come out. We want them to have a good time. And if you just come for a little while, it'll be a lot of fun.
And the opportunity for the public, for anyone from all over the PD, southeastern North Carolina, anyone who's coming in. Of course, both North and South Carolina are part of the OMAR. Or excuse me, part of the South Atlantic Shrine.
Well, the original nucleus of the South Atlantic was North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. There's 3 Shrine Centers in South Carolina: OMAR, Jamil, and Hejaz. There's 3 in in North Carolina, Sudan, Amram, and Oasis. There's 4 in Virginia. So the original South Atlantic was 10. Then we started adding other shrine centers asked to be a part of our group, and we added West Virginia, and we now have all of Kentucky, parts of Tennessee, and we have 1 shrine center in Savannah, Georgia. A-Lee is in Savannah, Georgia. So we've kind of grown over the years.
Yes, very definitely. Of course, I think you highlighted the last 2 years, Virginia Beach. Even the next 2 years, I believe I saw in a little write-up, maybe back at Virginia Beach. So it's a real opportunity to have a central focus of this 34th annual convention here in Myrtle Beach. Even more exciting to have someone in your role as president of the South Atlantic Shrine and the 55,000 Shriners within the South Atlantic Shrine all convening here, and you being the president is really a big deal when we think about that, Bob, because of an opportunity to make a difference for the Shrine hospitals. Folks coming out to the golf tournament and possibly signing up if you still have some openings there, or coming out to the events on Saturday, or buying things down at Spring-Maid Beach Resort. Some of those dollars, if not many, or most of those dollars, all the dollars possibly, I'm not sure, you want to share with viewers about the opportunity to support those hospitals and the Children's Hospital.
Well, our national organization establishes clear guidelines as how we raise monies. We have 2 ways. We have a fraternal corporation, and we have a 501c corporation. Our hospital corporation is a 501c. When we're out fundraising, if we say the word hospital or children's, then all of those monies have to go to the hospitals above expenses. If we print something or have to pay gas or whatever, those are acceptable expenses with a receipt. But if we can't, anything above that goes to the hospitals, and I think 98 cents on every dollar is spent on children's care or something like that. You can figure that. You go to www.shrinershq.org. That's the national website, and find that information. Most of the fundraising here will be for the fraternal organization.
Good.
It'll be for, we've got to buy gas and keep the floats up, keep the cars running. All of that's fraternal. So those fraternal funds are not deductible as a charitable contribution. Businesses could expense them out for advertising or whatever, but they're not deductible as charitable contributions.
But if someone wanted, you would take a donation. If a viewer wanted to come out and do things, if the donor made clear, I want this to go to the hospital.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I want this
That's
to go
exactly
to
where it would go.
And if a viewer called you at the 450-2741 number, but a lot of folks just didn't know y'all's mission there, of course, serving the fraternal side, but truly the 22 hospitals, children's hospitals around the country. That's a tremendous deal. And as you said, it's grown beyond just serving in the hospital role, but also making sure family can come and visit. I know Bob talked about some of the homes associated with the hospital so that family could come and visit and stay there to support their child while they're in town and in those hospitals.
We have the local hospital in Greenville, that's our closest hospital, has rooms in the hospital to do that, facilities inside the hospital. Other hospitals may have homes available. We do provide transportation for the patients, and we have a transportation van. We have actually 5 vans scattered throughout the Omar's jurisdictional area. We have one stationed here in Horry County. And we have what we call our road runners, are the guys that transport children to the hospital, and they're on the road all the time. These Shrine hospitals have different expertise. Greenville is an orthopedic hospital. Cincinnati is a burn. Philadelphia is spinal. Galveston is cleft palate and clubfoot. It does. Wherever the expertise lies, that's where the child is taken.
And the children do not necessarily have to be children of Shriners. I mean, these are children.
No. These are, matter of fact, the vast majority of them aren't.
Have no relation. That's tremendous. Probably something a lot of folks don't know, Bob.
Well, if they know a child in need, you can go on the website, www.shrinershq.org. You'll find a hospital application there, or just find a Shriner and ask. We'll be that's our responsibility, is to make sure that the applications are filled out and those children are taken care of.
In that aspect, we just less than a minute here, Bob. That aspect of your father having been the potentate of the Omar, yourself having served that role, and now, of course, as the president of the South Atlantic Shrine, are you getting your son? Has he gotten involved, or passing that on to others in the shrine?
Well, I have. I just, matter of fact, Randy Black here at the local campus just became a Shriner Monday 2 weeks ago.
Great.
And I called him to say that I was coming today. Unfortunately, he's in another meeting, couldn't be here. But we're expanding membership all the time, and just ask a Shriner if you want to be. We'd love to have you join us. That's what we're. We don't have any. As a fraternal group, we don't have any women in our organization. But if we didn't have our wives involved, we call our wives ladies, and they are. And if we didn't have our wives involved, we wouldn't have a shrine. That's for sure.
Right.
So the shrine is a very family-oriented group. We have a purpose, and we're very proud of it. It humbles you to be out on the street and selling a candy bar or some little thing, having your fez on, and somebody come up and tell you about their own personal experiences at the hospital, or something that one of their family members or a friend has benefited from our philanthropy, and it makes your heart proud, pounded.
We can see it in your eyes, absolutely.
And I'm honored to be a Shriner, and I hope that everyone else would want to join us and help us out.
Absolutely. Those are key words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Bob.
Greg, it's been a pleasure. And,
Very definitely.
Hope. I didn't ask you, are you a Shriner?
Not yet, that's right, not yet. He's getting started early at 7 a.m. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the president of the South Atlantic Shrine Association, Bob Gray, coming up next. You could have heard those key words off camera that he wrapped up right here. If we didn't have that main reason for being, if we didn't have the Shriners Hospital for Children, probably wouldn't have the Shrine anymore. It's that important. You could see it in his eyes as he was wrapping up the interview. 450-2741. How often do viewers give out their mobile phone number? He wants you to get out there, SASA2007.com. Virtually everything open to the public. Be a tremendous 34th annual festival and convention right here in Myrtle Beach. A membership of 55,000, and so many of those folks coming here to celebrate what it's all about. Take a look online or give them a call, 450-2741.